It's playing with me tonight, y'all. It's playing with me tonight. Shout out to the nighttime recording session. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get it in because it's Saturday when y'all see this. But when I recorded it, it was the other day. But you know how it be. Welcome back, Team DWC. Welcome back, Team DWC. It's your boy TWP Popcorn. Y'all already know what time it is. 10 a.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday, 6 p.m. Wednesdays. AKA another day in paradise. Y'all already know we got some videos to review, so let's get to them.
Hope you don't mind. We made some tea. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the bloke you're stealing from. The name's Alistair Rigby, but as far as you're concerned, I'm Willy fucking Wonka, and you're taking a shit in my fucking chocolate factory. Easy, boss. Don't get upset. When I have to go to the dentist, I'm upset. When Liverpool beats Arsenal, I'm upset. But when some little shit decides to take over one of the most profitable territories in the country, I'm beyond fucking upset. I'm very fucking upset. So, from now on, you're under new management. You will work for me, and in return, you'll receive an allowance.
Allowance?
Yes, allowance. As in, I'm allowing you to keep 10%, and I'm allowing you to keep drawing breath on this earth. Now, you either get down or you lay down. What's it gonna be, sunshine?
This wasn't no movie. The smart thing was to say yes, get up, and leave the room. But then I thought to myself, what if this was a movie? Look, fuck you, fuck the plane you flew in on, fuck them shoes, fuck those socks with the bell on it, fuck your gay-ass fairy faggot accent, fuck them cheap-ass cigars, fuck your yuck-mouth teeth, fuck your hairpiece, fuck your chocolate, fuck Guy Ritchie, fuck Prince William, fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
I think this one spent too much time at the cinema. Teach this cheeky bastard a lesson.
Nobody fucking move!
Oh man, this is bad.
What is this? A casting call for the Sopranos reunion? Do me a favour. Tell room service nobody here ordered the extra large whop with a side order of wops.
Whoa!
Boss!
So, see how hard it really is to get Adderall. It's not.
It's not hard at all. I remember a time I had an essay, one of them 70% of grade motherfuckers that you had to do it by the end of the year. I was like, oh yeah, let me pop this Adderall I got. It's not me condoning this. I got a 98 on that. Today we're watching I Tried Every Illegal Addiction Legally. Coming up, young man, you know what I'm saying? And especially with the era I was in, there was a lot of illegal substances around. Just from the jump, bro, I want to say don't do them. It's not worth it. Have a clear mind. Don't let it be a distraction in your life.
Hello, mamas. I recently went viral for trying every single legal addictive substance that you could possibly get. Things widely available like alcohol, nicotine, gambling, caffeine, but those are all legal.
Damn, this nigga's doing this shit like, this is for YouTube, like possibly getting addicted to shit for YouTube videos. But it's for money as well. But yeesh.
And boring. What about the What about the illegal ones?
The hell?
Like, I never have had any.
There's no way he's doing that
with any of these. But after a long period of doing nothing, I want to see how my body will fare now. Starting with...
He's capped the fuck out. There's no way he's doing this.
Methamphetamine is a really scary drug that makes your teeth fall out. Adderall is the exact same chemical compound,
it is,
but a little bit lighter. And if you're not aware, Adderall is a medication to treat ADHD.
Right.
What have multiple therapists and almost everyone in my life told me my entire life? I probably have ADHD. And I had a friend growing up who did both Adderall and meth.
Wow.
And she told me that they had pretty much the same effect on her. So, let's see how hard it really is to get Adderall. It's not.
It's not hard at all. Bruh, in college, my bro, look, listen, and I'm gonna be super transparent with y'all, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all can learn from me. In college, bro, like, I remember a time where I had an essay that needed to be done. It was like one of them 70% of grade motherfuckers that you had to do it by the end of the year. Didn't touch it. End of the year came. Said, damn. Right? My dog, he had been popping Adderall. Like, been tried that shit. Like, yo, Adderall quit. I'm tripping. I had Adderall too before that. I was like, oh yeah, let me pop this Adderall I got. Pop that hoe, my nigga. This is not me condoning this shit. Cause I'm gonna tell you the bad parts about it too, as he tells you. I got a 98 on that shit. Don't do that shit though.
Googled it, and within a few hours I was talking to a psychiatrist. Just FaceTiming my drug dealer.
Can you confirm your full name and date of birth for me?
Yeah, Benjamin Emil de Almeida.
I'm having some concerns regarding ADHD. What symptoms do you have?
Like extreme, like inability to focus a lot of the time. Like I can't like sit still or like not fidget.
Are you allergic to anything?
Nope. Dairy, like lactose intolerance, but that's it.
And it's that easy.
Screen positive for symptoms consistent with ADHD. So typically the treatment for ADHD is stimulant therapy. We start with an extended release Adderall. It is a controlled substance, right? So you do have to be careful with it. You will have to pay attention to make sure that it doesn't increase any symptoms of anxiety. So worry.
And it does do that. It does do that. Like you can be very anxious off that shit. Like you have to be doing something. I don't know how it is for people with like really bad ADHD, but as a normal human who can focus, it's like, y'all remember the movie Limitless where the guy would take the Limitless pill and he would be fucking geeked, like he knew everything and but the come down was like, yo, he was fucked up. Think of Adderall kind of like that. In the moment, you're locked into whatever you're doing, focused. But when that come down the next day, you feel like early on, you feel like shit. You might be a little bit agitated, like somebody say something, you're like, yo, I'm not trying to hear. Like you're more agitated to little shit, you know what I'm saying? For me, and then you're so focused, you're not locked in on drinking water, you're not locked in on eating, you're locked in on whatever it is you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So the next day I wake up back hurting, uncomfortable, because the nigga ain't ate, drank, nothing, body not lubricated. Pause.
Chest pains, palpitations, headaches, difficulty sleeping. And you want to make sure that your blood pressure is not going up.
All right, thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Benjamin. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye-bye. It took 6 minutes to
send my
get
prescription.
Adderall. What the fuck? I literally said, I can't focus. And now I can go get a controlled fucking substance from the store. What the fuck? Oh, America's so scary. But I also kind of need it. But imagine if I didn't need it and I just lied about that and got Adderall for free. But I do need it, because look at me. Look. I can't show it on YouTube, but we got him. How does this open?
And mind you, if you don't have this shit prescribed, like, let me tell you again, like, don't do this, and don't be trying to go get it from a dealer or something, because if you get caught with this shit and it's not prescribed to you and you just got that shit, that's a felony. Big F. When me and my dog got locked up, he had some of that shit, right? They hit my nigga with an F. You don't want to fight that, bro.
You tell I've never been prescribed a medication in my life.
Don't do this. Don't do drugs, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all if he's being very dramatic or not. Very dramatic. I don't know if he just can't. Yeah. I don't know why he's doing this, but this doesn't happen. We're gone. What the hell? Yeah, this is a great way to scare a motherfucker from doing this shit. He doing a lot right now, though. I use that face wash.
So the effect that Adderall had on me was I could not stop. I could not stop anything. I just had to keep going. I cleaned my entire apartment neurotically. I did all the laundry that's been piled up on my floor, took the garbage and recycling out. I went to the gym and biked the fastest I've ever biked in my life. I found a cockroach in my apartment.
Oh my gosh. That hoe bold as fuck to be calling on the screen like that.
That landed on my fucking monitor. Then I put it in a bottle of Mountain Dew to see if it would make it stronger. I recorded the effects in a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. I learned Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. What the fuck? I plucked every hair off of my hand individually.
Whoa, okay, yeah. I don't know what he got going on with that.
I got really paranoid. The anxiety became too much to hold in my body. I feel like a mass was trapped inside my body that no way.
This is crazy. This, like, this wouldn't happen. This nigga's just got some other shit going on. You're not gonna be doing bug experiments and plucking hairs off your body like shit. I'm not.
Being expelled. I googled my my social security number 50 times thinking it got leaked. I tried to eat but I couldn't. I tried to sleep but I couldn't.
Oh, definitely not.
Play the game. Guess what time it is? I think it's 1 in the morning. Oh my god.
I dumped the Adderall in the bottle with the Mountain Dew and the cockroach so that I wouldn't even try and have it. And then I thought about trying to scoop it out and have it. And then I canceled my prescription.
Yeah, but I feel like he's doing he's pushing the limits here, but he's doing a lot. But you know what I'm saying? Like, he has to sell it. He has to sell certain things for YouTube. But I don't think it's like it. It's not that. I will tell you. I've done this many times. It's not that. Trust and believe. Don't do it, but it's not that.
Hey,
you don't turn into
a little lighter.
You don't turn into a meth head or nothing.
If you haven't heard of
I don't know nothing about this.
You are mentally unclouded, and I'm very happy for you. But let me give you a quick rundown. These 30-pound canisters are typically made to make whipped cream. But I gotta ask you, why would something to make whipped cream be marketed in such bright colors with fruity and fun flavors similar to candy, and even worse, be sold in almost exclusively smoke shops? A month ago, you could buy these things at Walmart, Amazon with no ID whatsoever. But now it's seemingly banned. You can't really find it in store or online anywhere, but that doesn't matter. Countless copycats come up, specifically one called Prime Whip. Now, same thing. Look at this bottle. It's got the name Prime in it. It's got the same font.
This shit just is stupid.
Is Prime. It's got colorful fucking packaging. It's watermelon flavor. Is this screaming, oh boy, I'd like to take 30 pounds of nitrous oxide and make that much whipped cream out of it? But let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's try and make whipped cream with it. Alright, I think I might be the first person on earth to use galaxy gas for its, like, actual culinary use. Mind you, you need these things to even use it.
This looks like a bomb.
Call it subtle foreshadowing or what have you, but the complete lack of instructions from Prime Whip, even on its webpage, not even having its FAQ fully filled out, led to me just screwing things into random high-pressured bottles. So it blew up, It took me an hour to remotely try and figure out what to screw into what, and then the gas made it fucking explode all over me. This is bullshit.
Shrooms!
Mushrooms are probably gonna be the least scary of everything we're encountering today. I certainly look at a mushroom and feel a lot less fear than this. But that being said, there are thousands of varieties of fungi, and some are not a fun fucking guy. They will.
Okay, so let me be completely honest with y'all, right? Be completely honest, transparent. I have never had a bad experience on shrooms. This is not me promoting it. I'm just giving y'all my experience and what's happened. The times I've done shrooms,
I ain't trip bad, but
I'm a mature person, right? A lot of people, bro, they do things and they take it, they do things and they are not mentally there to be doing shit. You have to know yourself, bro. I'm talking to grown men and women right now, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to you as if you were in front of me and I was telling you my experience. Like, this is just what it is. So let's be mature. You have to know yourself. Because when I've done this, only thing that's happened was, you choose what you want. If you want to kind of do some introspection and learn about yourself, certain things that you've kind of been putting off emotionally, it will do that. It'll bring them to the light, and you have to deal with them face first. Like, if you're not ready to handle certain things, certain things about yourself, or you're pushing a lot of things behind, it will bring that to the forefront. You'll have to face those emotions and those things. You know what I'm saying? You could see yourself crying off of that shit. Or depending on the setting, you could just have a certain experience with friends, or it could be something else, right? But this isn't one of those things where you're hallucinating. You're not fucking hallucinating everywhere, tripping, and that's acid. Don't do that. Shrooms, I'm not saying do this either, but shrooms is not that. It's more of a, like, looking at your life type of thing, psychedelic. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at your life, you're seeing things that might be different, and you're kind of attacking certain problems if that's what you want. Or maybe you just want to have an experience that doesn't really have too much to do with emotions. You just have to go into it with a certain mindset if you were to do it. Again, not promoting it. This is just my experience and how I feel about it. Let me know what y'all experiences are if you've done it before.
Kill you and poison you. And mushrooms are in various states of legality depending on where you are. I don't think you can do it here. But guess what? Mother Nature doesn't give a fuck if it's a Schedule 1 drug because they grow from the earth. I was surprised to find out that you can just forage them. You can just find them growing in the forest and then eat them. And then... So, I went online and found a professional mushroom forager. And I traveled 3 hours upstate to where he had a little mushroom-like kingdom and did little mushroom classes. And I got to meet him. His name was Erwin.
Yeah, he looked like he'd be taking trips.
Handlands. So you have a knife if you are getting edibles and you want to cut, the base of the stem.
Are most of the edibles that we're gonna find, like, you can just pop them off the ground and eat them, or like they have to be cooked?
They all have to be cooked. This is one of the things we hope to see today.
I've never seen that before.
Erwin was so knowledgeable. He showed me this whole world that I didn't.
Bro, I know he probably get all them shrooms, go out into nature like that, and he's just he's just learning shit about himself, learning the land and shit, getting lost in the land, just learning. That's a beautiful environment right there, at peace. But hey,
didn't even realize was happening all around us. And he brought his cute little dog that can literally smell mushrooms, named Charlie. I actually did make a little awkward here.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Of these? No, actually.
Oh, not my shoe.
So you like the shoes too. I thought he was asking you ever seen these? Talking about shoes? No. He meant the mushroom. Then he showed me this freaky ass slime mold that squirted in my face.
Oh no.
And I thought it was time to call it a day, so...
Safe travels.
Take care. I did only go home with one edible mushroom, but I must say it was a lovely and pleasant experience, and I highly recommend you all go safely mushroom foraging sometime. All right, y'all. Let's cook my lone edible. Hot water. Let me like cut off the parts that are like tree, like straight up just tree. I feel like I'm in the bay right now. I need hands! Right. As I was chopping this up, I realized I've never cooked a mushroom because I always pick the motherfuckers out of my food, but I don't know if that's gonna do anything for him. For the first time, so it was a real learning experience. I also did this on Halloween, which was probably not the best idea to do shrooms on. Why the fuck was Pennywise walking towards me? I don't want to see that when I'm. That's not Pennywise. That's which is probably not the best idea to do shrooms on. Bro from the Terrifier. That's Art the Clown. Why the fuck was Pennywise walking towards me? I don't want to see that when I'm tripping balls. Ew. It is so. It's cold and slap. Yeah, I've never seen a shroom be took like this, like where you cook it. Like I've seen it just be dried. And you do what you do, whether you put it in tea or you just eat it straight up or you put it in a sandwich or some shit like. But this is different. I've never seen this. Hell yeah, let's just go for it. Fuck it. It's not, and it don't taste good, by the way, y'all. That's crazy. This nigga does not have very much knowledge on shit, bro. He should have talked to somebody. He's just kind of doing it. It tastes like things. I just found my foreskin and ate it. I have no clue what the dosage is supposed to be. I'm just freeballing it. If you ever do much, don't ever do that. The way this was like on a tree, like growing on a tree, and now. Whoa. All right, well, I'm gonna get comfy and watch the sunset and soak up these vibes. 30 minutes in, I felt nothing, but I was like, okay, maybe it takes a while for it to kick in. An hour, I felt nothing. I don't feel shit. I just still feel the standard level of crazy. I was in the Uber, and my Uber driver was scrolling through Instagram Reels, and that started greening me out, but mushroom-wise, still nothing. It was nighttime, still nothing. Oh, it's not gonna hit. It's not gonna hit. It's nighttime. Yeah, it would have hit an hour. It's nighttime. Like, he would have hit in an hour. I feel nothing. Latest. What the fuck? And you know why? You wanna know what edibles means in the mushroom fungi context? This nigga's an idiot. Yo, this nigga's stupid. Yo, bro, this nigga, bro, I'm telling you, he's just doing shit, bro. He need to talk to somebody. And nothing more. I was just eating fucking portobello mushrooms. Yeah. There was absolutely nothing to give you a good time in those mushrooms other than a delicious umami flavor that could have been sauteed with some garlic butter and maybe some parsley. I'm a fucking idiot. Absolutely no shade to Irwin. It's my fucking fault for thinking that edibles always means it's a drug. Anyways, there are some things on this list that are probably less detrimental to your health than some of the things that were in my legal addictions video. For example, I personally would trust a portobello mushroom before I would put another fucking geek bar in my mouth. Please use your brain, trust your gut. If your gut even thinks for a second that you're doing something sketchy, don't fucking do it. That applies to anything. And that's all. Like the video, man. Sub up, comment up. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, bro. This was a funny video. You know what I'm saying? It's a good video. Let me know if y'all liked it. Binge the rest of the videos on the channel because there are 2 other videos that dropped with this. And yeah, we're gone. That being said, Eddie Leroux.
Everybody in New York was calling to get down with Mr. Nice Guy. We met all kinds of customers, like this guy here. He's what we call an enhancement smoker because he thinks that marijuana makes every activity that much better.
Mi casa su casa.
Observe.
You're Scarface, right?
Yeah.
I love Al Pacino, man. Did you ever see Son of a Woman?
Yup.
Have you ever seen Son of a Woman on weed? That's the way to see it, man. It's just whack.
$60, yo.
That's cool, man. I got it. Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill, man?
No, I don't know, yo.
Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill on weed? Oh, there's some weird shit in there, man. There's a dude sitting in the bushes, man. Does he have a gun? I don't know, man. I don't know. What? Red team go. Red team go. It's just some weird shit, man.
Man, you fucking crazy, yo.
No, it's cool. Thanks, man. Hey, yo, wait. Dude, I'm gonna check out the stars later. It's really trippy. Especially on weed, man.
Why you got music playing?
Cannabis has been vilified to a ridiculous degree for the last century, but it's now finally being decriminalized in more and more places around the world. It's just recently been legalized in Germany, and for very good reasons. Compared to legal drugs like alcohol, which will cause 1 in 20 deaths just this year, cannabis is pretty mild. So, to justify harsh prosecution and punishment, its negative effects have been wildly overstated. Naturally, there was a lot of pushback, and here's something went wrong. If you followed the discourse over the last few years, you might have got the impression that weed has almost only upsides and few, if any, negative side effects. We ourselves contributed to that narrative. What made this worse is that criminalization made it very hard for scientists to study cannabis, especially its long-term effects. They faced bureaucratic and legal hurdles, and studies often had to rely on small sample sizes. In the last few years, this finally started to change, so it's time to bring new evidence to the discussion. And, well, it's not pretty. While weed is still much less harmful than alcohol, it does have a dark side. It is more addictive than we thought and can have significant negative effects if you use it long term. It seems that... what are you doing? Before you tell us how dumb we are, please watch the video. To be crystal clear, we think prohibition doesn't work and cannabis should be legal, but this also means that we need to treat it as what it is, a drug, with unique upsides and downsides. So let's take an honest look at some of the latest research together. Weed is getting stronger and stronger. Cannabis's magic juice is tetrahydrocannabinol, THC. It docks on your cannabinoid receptors, which affects various brain functions. THC activates some regions and calms down others, creating a fun cocktail of sensations. The more THC, the more intense the high. And people seem to be into higher highs, or at least this is what the market is providing. In the US, Canada, and in Europe, the concentration of THC in legal and illegal cannabis products has more than doubled in the last few decades. While ever more potent strains are bred, products like edibles or concentrates with more than 60% THC have become increasingly common, while the share of products with less than 15% THC has declined. Unfortunately, just about every problem weed creates gets worse at higher THC doses. At the same time, more and more people use weed. In the US, more people consumed cannabis daily than alcohol for the first time in 2022. In Canada, 26% of people 16 and older use it, up from 22% in 2018. It's not possible to say if legalization is the reason for this, though, since studies are pretty inconsistent and vary massively between different users. In some, consumption went up. In others, it stayed stable, and the trend to use more weed began in the early 90s and sped up in the 2000s, way earlier than legalization. So today, more people consume more weed than ever before in the last century, and it's the strongest it's ever been. What are we seeing as a result of this? Let's start with something that used to get you laughed out of the room: addiction. Weed addiction and withdrawal symptoms. A big narrative about weed is that it's not addictive, or at least not that big of a deal. And for most people, this is true. Studies clearly show that the majority handle it well. For 8 out of 10 using weed, it's just a casual high and not problematic at all. About 2 in 10 users develop a cannabis use disorder, or CUD. CUD has 11 different symptoms, from the inability to stop when you've had enough, to using it when you know it will have negative consequences, to tolerance and withdrawal. They can all basically be reduced to, you're doing it too often, even if it's bad for you, and it's less fun than it could be. There are 3 major risk factors here: the amount of THC, how often you consume, and your age when you start using cannabis. The more THC, the more often, and the younger you are when you start, the higher your risk. if you smoke too much weed too often, it will have negative impacts on your life. So if this is you, toning it down a bit will make a big difference. 1 in 10 users develops a serious addiction. They usually consume daily, and their life is significantly impaired or held back because they spend a lot of their time either using or recovering from cannabis use. Since their brain is building a tolerance, they need increasingly high doses or stronger weed, often both. Studies found a variety of negative effects. Heavy users can experience bad moods, feel irritable, restless, paranoid, anxious, and even depressive. In a sad twist of irony, for many addicts it feels like they need weed to fight these symptoms. Maybe it did actually help at first, while in reality it makes those symptoms stronger and more persistent. Studies also found that loneliness and frequent cannabis use go hand in hand. If you feel lonely, you're more likely to use weed, and if you use weed, you may experience more loneliness. It's not always easy to say which came first, but they seem to reinforce each other. So on the one hand, cannabis makes loneliness feel much less bad. On the other hand, it can also make you feel more socially awkward than you actually are, and...
But anyway, shout out to that big homie at the Garden Grappler. It says he's currently bud tending over at Green Leaf Summit. Shouts out to Green Leaf Summit. You know, he over there bud tending Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Y'all know to go hit him up. He'll be over there actually bud tending, so you can ask him about his Garden Grappler-ish if you're over in the Lee Summit area and, you know, checking out Greenleaf. Shouts out to Greenleaf Summit, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to go do a review over there now since the big homie going to be over there, catch that motherfucker at work. He going to be like, oh shit, that's the homie Popcorn. I'm going to be like, yeah, what's up, my guy?
withdraw from friends. This can lead to a downward spiral that ends in self-isolation and chronic loneliness. Another thing many people who consume a lot experience is a mental numbness that makes boredom feel okay because it impacts the reward system of your brain. Not great, but good enough. You can spend your days killing time binging mildly interesting stuff, being numb rather than having fun. Boredom is a signal to your mind to get creative or learn something new, but this is suppressed. This also makes quitting so much harder because your daily routines suddenly seem boring and unexciting, making it very tempting to go back. If you find yourself using constantly, this can also stunt your development as a person. The numbness dulls bad feelings, making it easy not to deal with them. But in life, you can only get over bad feelings if you actually feel them, and you have to process them to grow. Lastly, let's talk about physical withdrawal symptoms. The more you consume, the worse they'll be for you, especially if you use daily. Withdrawal can cause headaches and sweating or chills, decreased appetite, in severe cases even fever, nausea and abdominal pain. You might have trouble falling asleep, and if you do, you might have disturbing and vivid dreams. The withdrawal can put you in a depressive mood where life feels daft and pointless. You can feel restless, angry, anxious, or nervous. You may feel unable to do anything at all. After a few days, these symptoms will begin to subside, and after a few weeks, they'll be gone entirely. The exact time depends on how much and how long you've been consuming cannabis. Now, let's get to the worst part. Weed may damage your brain. This section was not fun to research because there's fierce debate among researchers how bad weed is for your brain and whether it has irreversible long-term consequences or not. There's no consensus yet, and it's hard to say anything definitive. Having said that, THC directly interferes with critical brain chemistry. There is some evidence that it may alter its structure. If it does, this may go away again if you quit after a few years, or not. We don't know yet. The consequences vary a lot between individuals, but especially for heavy users, they have a variety of potentially unfunny downsides. The most common one is that your memory gets significantly worse. Sustained heavy use may reduce your ability to learn, your reasoning, perception, attention span, decision-making, language abilities, and impulse control. Most negative effects seem to go away or at least weaken over time after you quit, but again, we simply don't know enough and need more research. Where the evidence is much clearer is that consuming a lot of weed is really bad for teenagers on multiple levels. If you start using heavily early, you have many more years to build up potentially negative side effects. Teens who use a lot are much more likely to become addicted to weed. This may just be correlation and weed may not be the underlying cause, but heavy weed users are more likely to perform poorly in school and less likely to finish their education. They are, on average, less satisfied with their life and what they've achieved. This may simply be because if your memory and motivation are stunted, you have fewer interesting experiences and forget the ones you do have. And there is strong evidence that teen users are way more likely to develop mental health issues like psychosis, schizophrenia, depression, or anxiety later in life. Once again, the younger you start, the higher the risk. And it also seems to rise massively with high THC doses, making highly potent cannabis products even more dangerous for teens. Okay, let's wrap this up. We've only focused on the negative sides in this video. That was the whole point. As we said before, for most people, weed in moderation is totally fine and definitely way less harmful than alcohol. You do you, we're not your parents. The upside of moderation is also that when you do it, your experience will be more intense and special. But for teens, weed, especially using it regularly or a lot of it, is a bad idea, with potentially life-changing consequences. We know that criminalization did nothing to make this better. We now have a new chance under legalization. It begins with being open and honest about the state of science and acknowledging that weed is one drug among many others. Certainly not the worst one by a long shot, but also problematic for at least 1 to 3 out of 10 people using it. If you really have to try cannabis, there is a time and place, and that's in your 20s. If you're younger, the science is clear, don't do it. At least, not yet. You'll have plenty of time to experiment later. Let's do a different experiment now. With the help of today's sponsor Odoo, a business management software, you can do the first step of starting a new business in 3 minutes. Don't believe me? I bet you 5 ducks, and you and I will do it together. You can try Odoo for free by clicking this button here. The first application stays free forever with unlimited hosting and support. Let's select the website application to ensure our online presence. Then you just follow the website configurator in 4 easy steps. First, what kind of website do you want to create? It could be a